back at it again. We're going to let this room fill up first before we start. Let this thing fill up, man. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that share, like, comment. Let the room fill up first.
Yes, sir.
Let me know when you feed live over there, man, so we can share this thing. We got to talk about this. Got somebody in the house. Yeah, we got one person there.
We got a few more. We got a few more coming. I'm gonna keep on sharing. Time to get our chance. Come on, baby. Get to the big thing. We got a lot to talk about.
Shout out to you all. Thank you all for tuning in to the Cowboys Experience. I'm about to say the Law Nation show. So used to saying that. But hey, tell them who you are, man. Let them know who you are, man.
It's Big Game James here for another week of the Cowboys Experience. You know what? If you're trying to get to that great experience, Law Nation has already experienced. Myself, I've already experienced. If you're trying to get these great tickets, we got a big game coming up against the Minnesota Vikings, a crucial game coming down in the NFC, and we'll also be having the Rams coming up as well. So if you're still trying to get on board and find out about those great experience tickets, Saturday meeting the players, Sunday getting driven to the stadium, getting great seats, hey, you need to get on that Cowboys Experience and find out through us, Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation, Law Nation, and the Cowboys Experience with Barry Griffith.
Man, I'm telling you, man, see, nobody can deliver the fire like my guy over there, the minister of the defense, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes. We're trying to get some more defense, ain't we?
Speaking of defense, let's just talk about it. Everybody talking about it.
Let's just talk about it. Everybody's talking about it in the chat. Everything is going on. All right, I'll be first. If my guy KG, if he's listening to this, he's been busting my chops, busting my tail. You said it wasn't going to happen with Jamal Adams. You said it wasn't going to happen with Jamal Adams. Okay, the reason why I say that is because I've seen it time and time again where we get our hopes up thinking something may happen only to wah, wah. Now, we got surprised last year with Amari Cooper because we were down in the dumps. We were 3-5. We needed a big change. We needed a receiver. We saw what the big addition, what we needed. We saw that we couldn't live without a number one receiver right now to help Dak develop. And the Cowboys went out there and pulled the trigger with the first-round pick, got Amari Cooper, and we've seen us pay dividends. They just made the big trade. Well, not a big trade, but it is for Michael Bennett. We didn't spend a lot of cash collateral for that, but still bringing a great player in. So now you got tapping at the door. The New York Jets are talking about giving up possibly Jamal Adams. Nobody is safe except Quentin Williams and Sam Darnold. So everybody else is available. So, yes, I'm definitely down for it. Never said I wouldn't. But will Jerry really pull the trigger? Because this going to cost some bread. And we know how much Stephen Jones loves those draft picks. And so that's where we got to see. Is he willing to give up those draft picks? I say if you're going for a first rounder, definitely. We'll see what the next conversation is. But if you're going to draft a safety anyway in the first round next year, why not get a bona fide 24-year-old all-pro player in Jamal Adams who's going to solidify? Now you got Xavier Woods who can strictly play free safety. You can put Jamal Adams in the secondary as the strong safety. He can do multiple things. That strengthens your defense. And also, you know what else it does, Law?
What it does?
Makes no excuses for this coaching staff.
Ooh, zero. Saranada. Look, here's the thing with everybody, and let's go hit a pinata. That's all right. Let's just keep it rhyming. Here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. Everybody want to know, okay, if the Dallas Cowboys were to lose against the Eagles, I'm thinking that we would have had to Leonard Williams. We would have went out there and said, okay, we would have spent the draft capital for Jamal Adams as well. So I think that when we win, we go fold back to the conservative.
Yes.
And the main thing that I look at, and I pull back everything, and I say, let me just see what the news announcement was said by Stephen Jones about the Michael Bennett. And in his announcement, in his statement, he said he didn't want to spend a lot of draft capital, meaning that he didn't want to spend a lot of remunerations for a player. So taking a risk on a 7-round draft pick or it can be like the 6th-round draft pick 2 or something like that on a Michael Bennett, who's a 34-year-old guy. Well, it's going to be 34. It's different than spending draft capital on a Jamal Adams or the Leonard Williams kid. So I'm thinking that I hate to bust the bubble. If it happened, it's good. But I'm leaning more so that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and all of those boys not finna sell me the moon is made of cheese, and I'm finna take that bait. I'm not finna do it, Big Game James. I'm not finna do it.
I mean, I'm not finna do it either. Show me, okay? We can get all excited. We know Jerry Jones is a master. He's a salesman. That's why he has the Cowboys. That's why they're the #1 franchise in all of the world.
Right.
Okay. And there's a reason for that, because he's a master. He's a master guy who can really do business. That's what he does. So at the end of the day, how many times have we seen us get hyped up or excited thinking something was going to happen and it didn't? And also, we've seen him pull the trigger on guys with Roy Williams back in the day, Joey Galloway, when we were saying, hey, get out there and get him. But we were pushing it, and he went out there and did it. But it came back and burnt us, came back and burnt the Cowboys. So now he's playing it more close to the vest because you have Stephen Jones, who's taking more of a forefront in the organization than back then. And Stephen Jones likes those draft picks. So that's where I think we're at, is the Jerry Jones will pull that trigger. I believe Jerry Jones would say, I'll pull that trigger. But Stephen Jones, I believe, is there saying, I don't know. We want to do that because we got to see what kind of picks we're giving up, this and that and this. And then you got to figure they're going to have to sign him. He's going to cost some money. He's not going to be super cheap. He's one of the best safeties right now in the game. So he's going to cost you. You still got to sign Amari Cooper. You still got Byron Jones hanging out there. And now you heard about Dak Prescott, them talking about giving a hometown discount so they can keep the other players. So there's a lot of moving parts in there. Now, we can say, yes, go get Jamal Adams. It's easier said than done. This is a business, folks. You can't just jump out there and say, oh, yeah, we're going to go get him. It's got to be dollars and cents to the Cowboys, and it's got to make sense to them in their eyes. And if it doesn't make sense in their eyes, it doesn't matter what we feel or think, they're not going to pull the trigger.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, Cowboy Nation, we got to understand, too, that as much as we don't like Anthony Brown that's on our team right now, his contract is due as well. And then on top of that, if you add into the fact that Robert Quinn, we got to figure out how to create some money, move it around, because we only have him on a 1-year rental.
He's on a 1-year deal. Possibly he's on a 1-year deal. So you got to look the way he's playing. You might want to sign him to a 2-year deal. You want to keep him in the fold. You just don't want to lose something like that. We've known, if you've seen our offensive linemen, that Cam Fleming, those guys who have decent Suafilo, those guys have decent seasons with the Cowboys will re-sign them. So you can obviously see a Robert Quinn being signed, because it's not like he's a 35, 36-year-old guy. He's just turning 28, 29, one of those ages. So he's not, and you see he still's got the juice. So why wouldn't you hit him on a couple-year deal? So that's what we're really, and we also got to understand that the whole defensive front, Malik Collins, Antoine Woods, Chris Covington, all those guys are on expiring deals.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Malik Collins. Yeah,
Malik Collins, all these guys are on expiring deals, so they have to look at what they're going to do for the future. That's the reason why I was pushing the Leonard Williams. Remember, we talked last week how bad I wanted him, but the thing was, because the reason why I wanted him, Law, was because you got Tristan Hill, who's possibly not ready. He's still developing, but he's going to be one of the cornerstones on the team, and we don't have anybody else that's coming back on a 3 or 4 year deal. So that's the reason why I was looking at Williams. But if you slide in a Bennett and possibly can sign some other guys, you definitely have to make this trade with the Jamal Adams. I get the draft picks, but this is a surefire guy. This isn't a guy who we think is good. We isn't a guy who maybe be good.
Yeah.
This is a dude who is good, came out of college good, came in NFL good. He's super good. So that is the difference maker that we have been looking for in the back end since a Darren Woodson. So this isn't a situation where you got a Roy Williams where, this is a situation where this is a surefire guy.
Right. And then on top of that, man, we see the growth of Xavier Woods playing at free. We do. I just don't like.
And he can roam.
Yeah, he can roam. He can roam. Now, this is not, hey, let's just throw Jeff Heath out of the building or throw him out of the club situation. But come on, man. I'm trying to
come on, Law. We know what it is.
We love Jeff Heath, but
nobody hating. But come on, dog. We trying to win the Super Bowl. We just trying to be average. You get what I'm saying? Because we see all these other teams out there making these moves. We've seen it happen with the Rams last year. We've seen it happened with the Eagles 2 years before. They had a really good team, but they needed a few more players that say, well, you know what? We're going all in because we don't got time to wait for next year. We don't got time to wait for 2 years from now. We want to try to win this thing now. They did that, and guess what? The Eagles benefited. They won a Super Bowl. The Rams benefit. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but they got there. Now you see the Cowboys are right at the apex with the talent. You got a player like this that can take you over the hump. And this isn't no situation like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. Like we said, this is a surefire player. He will make everybody else in that defense better. He will make Xavier Woods better. Wow. He will make our linebacking core better. He will make our cornerbacks even better. You got Byron Jones already cutting down one side of the field. You get a playmaking strong safety like that, and then, oh my gosh, then you're bringing in a Michael Bennett. Now you're looking at, okay, Cowboys, now you're looking in the driver's seat. But once again, Law, we can be excited all we want. Still got to be coaching.
We still got to be coaching. Yes, indeed. On top of that, we just got to figure out a way, Cowboy Nation. And Big Gabe James, the minister of defense, is spitting all the truth out here. And, hey, I got to say this right now, Cowboy Nation. You can't win sitting back and relaxing. Where we stand at right now? We 4-3, right?
We 4-3. We ain't 6-1, and even if we was 6-1, you still can't pass up a guy like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Are the Cowboys going to do it, Law? That's what we asking ourselves. I'm not trying to jump on the cheese because I've had too many ups and downs and ebb and flows with this team. But daggone it, this is something that you have to make happen. Like, I understand, we don't want to give our first round picks, but those picks are not guaranteed. When you draft that player, you are hoping and praying that that's what it is. We saw our first round pick we just got rid of. Taco Charlton wasn't he a first round pick. We were hoping and praying, and he didn't do it. So every one of those picks don't pan out. So you're taking a chance when you do that. You're taking a big chance. But this is a guy who's guaranteed. And I hate to keep going back to it, but this is a guarantee, Law. You feel me? This is a guarantee. Yeah. This ain't nothing that we oh dang, we missed a first round pick. Are we crying about our first round pick we lost with Amari Cooper?
Nope.
We sure ain't. I ain't even thinking about that first round pick. All I keep on seeing is Coop killing people. That's all I see. So I want to see some first round picks given up for this Jamal Adams. Then I'll get super dumb excited. But then once again, I'm going to say, come on, coaches, we got to get this because this isn't going to be an easy stretch, Law. We got a tough amount of games. So that's why it even makes it more prevalent to make this happen. Because you got the Giants, who I ain't thinking about, but we better beat them. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings. Then you got the Detroit Lions, who always gives us fits. You still got Buffalo, who's going to play us tough. The New England Patriots. You still got the Bears. You still got the Rams. You still got the Eagles. You don't have an easy schedule. So if you're saying we need to get over the hump and we're trying to win this year, pull that trigger, man. Bow, bow.
Bow. Hey, and we played 3 out of the 4 teams that right now that's going to be in the playoff hunt. We play the Eagles again, of course. We play the Detroit Lions. And then on top of that, we play the Rams. And if you look at it like what you said, those teams are in the playoff chase, right? They're in the hunt. We're not guaranteed a playoff if we don't do our job. And then on top of that, I believe the Minnesota Vikings, they're 6-2, right?
6-2, I believe.
6-2. I'm just trying to go off a recall. They're 6-2
or 5-2.
Yeah, they 6. I think they won 6 games. Believe it or not.
Okay.
And
6-2.
They just beat the Washington Redskins. So what happens here is that they looking at their schedule saying, "Man, we don't want wild card. We want to get people to come to Minnesota." So they only a game behind the Green Bay Packers, right? So they looking at it like, "Hey, the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, if we can go in and play the Cowboys whenever they play us or what have you, if we can get that victory over the Cowboys and find a way to get the victory over the Green Bay Packers down the line, then we can be divisional champions or divisional title holders." So that's why it's so important to win those small games. That's why it's so important to win games that's in the NFC as well, because teams are not going to just fold up like wallets and lawn chairs. They're going to give us their best.
They're going to give us their best. And then this is what we've been saying the last few weeks, Law, and I've been preaching from the very beginning, even when you do any kind of football, your first object is when you start the football season is to win your division. That is the number one thing. And we see right now how prevalent it is. You got the Packers, you got the Saints, all those guys who have better records than us and have beaten us.
Right.
So you look at the other teams, you still got the Vikings, you still got the Seahawks right there. You still got the Eagles, the Lions are still hanging around. You still got the Bears. You got all these teams that are records that are so close to us. We can't have a slip up. That's why I said you can't have them slip-ups against the New York Jets. Even though it was an NFC game,
Right.
that's still one loss that
Right.
did not have to happen. And then even when we played the Green Bay Packers and the Saints, you have to win those games. Didn't we talk about a law?
Yeah.
NFC games are critical. And those games that you lose early in the season come back to haunt you, because just like you said, what happens if the Vikings beat us, right? And then let's say the Vikings beat the Packers. Then the Packers are fighting for a playoff spot. Guess what? If it goes down to head-to-head matchups and we have the same record, who's getting in?
There you go. Speaking of words of wisdom, I want everybody to digest that. Let that soak into your pores. Let that soak into your mentality and your mental and all of those things. Because Big Game James, boy, I didn't know you was going to preach on today, man.
I was ready for preaching. I thought my Cowboys had found it had been sitting in the whip forever, and I said, I'm ready, putting the thinking cap on today, big dog.
Man, oh man. So we face against those Giants, man. The blueprint is out to beat us. We already know. Run the ball, rush it up the middle. But the last two games, basically, we seemed like we kind of shut that down a little bit with Antoine Barbecue Woods. Now, I'm not saying that he's the end-all, be-all, but what I'm saying is that we can't just go up here Monday night football and say, okay, we playing against those little old Giants and we're going to show them who we are. We got to win that game.
That's a must-win game.
And in the historical data, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus here. I'm not trying to throw any salt or shade at Jason Garrett. But the historical data shows that after a bye week, Jason Garrett come out a little flat. How you think this team is going to be prepared going into this Monday night football game?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, this team is unpredictable. You hate to say that. We don't want to say that. We don't want to feel that way about the Cowboys, but it is unpredictable because we've seen it already happen this year. We've seen it happen where you're supposed to go into a New York Jets team who's terrible, not good. Look at all their numbers offensively right now. They're absolutely atrocious. They're almost the bottom of the league of everything. So there's no way they should have dropped that many points on us. But being that said, I definitely feel what you're saying, especially with Garrett coming off buys. But I think this time I have a different feeling, and I hope I'm right. I think I have this time because they know the task at hand right now. They already dropped one of those in New York, and they got to understand that right now we're 3-0 in the NFC East. Right. We go in there and beat the Giants. We're 4-0. We have a stranglehold on the East. We're looking very good at pointing up in this game. And we've already had the situation where we played a team that's not good. You have a young quarterback in the fold. You have to go ahead and sit there and put the hammer on this type of team. So I think they're going to come out, and I think getting Bennett was huge. Because guess what? That's a Super Bowl guy. That's a guy who's had Super Bowl experience. That guy who's been there and done that. That guy who's has 66 sacks in the league. Who's been a force, can play multiple positions. And that veteran leadership and that attitude, people's worried about his attitude. But I believe that's the attitude combined with the DeMarcus Lawrence that the Cowboys need. So when people are saying, "Oh, shut up, DeMarcus," no, I want my Cowboys talking trash, running their mouths. Now, I know about the hot boys. I said this and that, but I want them to say, hey, let's go in there and kick these boys' butts and let's do what we do. And I think Bennett gives us that edge as well.
Yes, indeed. That's some good information, man. Shout out to Gambino, Mike Robinson.
Gambino,
boy. Shane, thank you for tuning in. Ryan, Justin. Boy, we got a whole group of people here today, man. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget to check out www.cowboysexperience.com. That's where you can find ticket price and as well as with meet and greet sessions, like when I had a chance to meet up with Randall Williams, or when you get a chance to shake hands with Cheeto Awuzie and Joe Looney and all those boys, Zach Martin and a whole bunch of players that we get a chance to I guess be around and talk to them and pick their brains and all those things. Just check them out, cowboysexperience.com. Here's another thing that I want you guys to check out too. There's a review section on Cowboys Experience Facebook page so that we can get proper feedback to know that what we are doing the proper way. Just leave us a remark. Leave us your thoughts. Leave us what's on your mental. And whether it's good, bad, ugly, or happy or sad, Mostly if it's happy.
Yeah, we don't want no bad.
Yeah.
Come on,
no
man, give us all
stuff,
them pretty sunshine faces, and like and subscribe and share
Yes.
this. We've shared this quite a bit, but if you guys are really liking this feed right now, liking what we're talking about, jumping in, and we're listening to a lot of people on here because I'm listening to a lot of people right here. Please share this. We have about 78 likes and shares, follows. With the page already. We're trying to get to 10K, and we can't get to 10K without you guys. So please share this as much as you can. Like the page, please do, so we can keep on trucking with the Cowboys experience. I'm looking at a few people, just listening to what a lot of people are saying.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people is feeling the same way. You know, go out there and make this happen. Because like I said, I mean, we're right here, Law. This will be even better. Would he Jamal Adams and Xavier Woods?
Oh my goodness! It seems like
I don't want to even get it. Yeah. I don't even want to get excited about it. I just want to be mum about it because honestly, like I said, I just didn't think. But you know what? It looks like the Cowboys may be getting serious, and if they really pull that trigger, I know they have to be serious. And then I hate to keep coming back to it, folks. I hate to keep coming back to it, but we can have all the talent in the world.
Oh wow!
We can get these players. We can make these trades. We can get these impact players. We have offensive impact players. We have defensive impact players. And if you get this guy, this is an impact player. But man, the coaching staff still has to get these guys over the hump.
Yes, the coaching staff must
We got to do it. There's no excuses, folks.
Yes, indeed.
No excuses.
It's been a long time.
Even if we don't get Jamal Adams, there's still no excuses for us because I still believe we can get to a Super Bowl with the talent we have. When I look at the other teams, we beat the Saints last year. They didn't blow us out this year. You get what I'm saying? The Packers, they jumped on us. We came back. You can't tell us there's any team that can just sit there and just dominate us and we can't come back and beat them. We still can do it, folks. This has to happen this year. It's no excuses. Remember what I told you, Law? No excuses, never satisfied. That's what the way I've been preaching.
Right.
No excuses, never satisfied. So if we're trying to get over the hump, we can't be satisfied. Go get this playmaker. No excuses after that if you get the playmaker. So they coincide. No excuses, never satisfied.
No excuses, never satisfied. And then I want to be able to speak to the Jets right quick. Jets. Just listen to me right now. If you guys are able to see and hear me, don't you guys want to strengthen us anyway? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the New England Patriots beating you down every year? Won't you just go ahead?
Get the picks.
Yes. Just go ahead and send Jamal this way. He's from Texas. Hey, he already got family. You don't need him.
You don't need Jamal Adams.
Cold out there anyway. Come on, Jets. Don't you want to see
Jets?
Yes. Don't you guys want to see Jamal be in the Syrian blue and play against Tommy Brady and put him on his backside? Don't you want to see that, Jets?
We ain't in the AFC either, so you ain't even going to be seeing us. It ain't like you're going to be seeing y'all every year. Come on, Jets, Jets. And yes, I was looking on here, Anthony Terrell, the deadline, I believe, is 4 p.m. I think that's EST. So if that's EST, you look like we got about an hour and 5 minutes.
Final countdown. Hey, and there were some more people out there outside of Jamal. He's not the end-all, be-all. That's the last person that we can trade with. I've seen some other stories out there. If you guys can post the players out there beyond Jamal, let me know, and I can just give you guys my thoughts on those guys. If you know anybody,
I mean, I'm going to keep it real, dog. If we're going to go get a safety, this is the only guy you need to get.
Well, true.
You get what I'm saying? Because the other guy, I think they got another safety from Florida. I can't remember his name. He's on with the Jets as well.
Rashad Jones.
No, that's Miami. That's Miami.
Miami.
But they got another guy with the Jets. He's a safety. He's a young guy, like third year. They're talking about they got him in the second round. They possibly will win a second. I don't want that. I don't want a guy who maybe. You get what I'm saying? We don't need a maybe player. We don't need a guy who's he may fit the bill. No, you spend this money, this has got to be a definite. And the only person that you need to get if you aren't getting a defensive tackle is Jamal Adams. No other player the Cowboys need to get because nobody else I'm going to be happy with if you're going at the safety position.
Would you be super upset if all of a sudden at the trade deadline you see across your screen O.J. Howard to the Dallas Cowboys? What would you think about that? Now, that's a whole nother subject there. But
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, dang, we still needed that safety. But guess what? Play some Donovan Wilson. Prep this young boy. Get him on the field then. You know what I'm saying? Stop being scary and let him play some. But I'm not going to be mad if they got an O.J. Howard and they didn't spend crazy capital, because that's somebody who can help right now. And that's future. That's future Howard and Jarwin. You feel me? That's somebody who's tantalizing. So I'm not going to be mad if you got O.J. Howard neither. But obviously we know the need right now is that back end. But if they did an O.J. Howard, I ain't going to be mad.
You going to be mad? Yeah.
I ain't going to be
well,
mad.
we be turning back flips. But here's the thing that I wanted to bring up too. Let me give everybody the scouting report on Michael Bennett. He can play and he can play 3. I think that he's not going to be a guy that you can put at 1, but he did show that you can put him in the inside and he can get upfield. He can penetrate the A gap. He got quick bursts off his release from the LOS, and I think that, like you said, with his craftiness and his veteran leadership, hopefully he's wearing number 79. Mm-hmm. We already know we cherish that number 79.
Harvey Martin had to take that away from Hill.
Yes. So he got to represent. No, they didn't take it away from Hill. They snatched it away from Hill.
Give me that. Harvey Martin was like, is he really wearing my jersey? And he's not doing anything. Take that off of him.
No, let's just snatch it. Just rip it off of him, But don't tear it. Don't tear it. We don't tear stuff around here. But I think that if he can bring in Tyrone Crawford had 5.5 sacks last year. Majority of those sacks came from the interior. I have to call a spade, and I don't want you guys to try to crucify me, but these are facts. Bennett is way, way ahead of Tyrone Crawford.
Man, ain't no what you apologizing for. I won't apologize for you. He's better than Crawford, period. Sorry, not hating on you, Crawford. Nobody's hating. It's real. He's better than you. He's an upgrade. Okay. I said earlier this year that guess what? Tyrone Crawford, if we lost him, you know what I'm saying? What is he? I mean, okay, he can slot back and forth, but come on, dog. What is Tyrone?
Bro, let me ask you this though. Is Tyrone Crawford is an example of sitting on the pot too long? Because now you don't say the $8 to $9 million that you could have.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. You could have saved that money. And this is a business, folks. I mean, nobody's advocating you just do this and do that because you don't like the player. This is a business. This is a business first. Personal feelings way behind you. Okay. This is a business. And if you could have saved $8-9 million, he's hurt. He's out for the year. So you lost that $8-9 million and he's on injured reserve. You still could have made it happen if you cut him and still could have got a Bennett or somebody else. You still could have got that and still have money coming back to the team. That's all I'm saying. That's where a little bit of the emotions come in, and I get that. And I know the Cowboys do have a loyalty to players in a sense. So I'm not mad at that because so many people in the world say there's no loyalty in sports. So I get that. But this is a business. This is a business, folks. And if you're trying to get your team better and still save money to pay other players, and you know this is probably going to be his last year anyway, be smart about it.
I'm trying to be nice. Look, my guy Mike says, Long, you just too nice, man. But, hey, I just know that Tyrone Crawford was one of those guys that was the emotional off-the-field leader of the defense, and he was one of those guys, too, that everybody kind of listened to. Now, like you said, that don't win you championships.
No, I don't win you championships.
Choir boys don't win you championships. Now, we do know the situation down there in Florida. It came because he was trying to protect his young brother,
Right.
So that just gives you a little insight of Tyrone Crawford. But, yes, like you said, it's time out to be coddling players, and it's just time to just start playing players who can earn it out there. And this is another thing. For everybody saying that Donovan Wilson can play close to the LOS, I don't like Donovan Wilson at that spot. I like him more at the free spot. The interception that we was able to see during the preseason is because he was playing in the Woods position because Woods was hurt. Remember that, Cowboy Nation?
Right. Yes.
Give me a camera together. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's what happened there. So that's why it would be so beneficial if we can get a true strong safety like a Jamal.
A true, where you can actually say Xavier Woods can play. And guess what? Guess what, Law?
What's that?
Jeff Heath, I think you'll be better because if you got a Jamal Adams,
yes,
now you have less pressure on you, Jeff Heath.
Yes.
Now, people forget about when Jeff Heath was coming off the bench. He was so much better. He was so much of a playmaker. That's why we all love Jeff Heath, because he was coming off the bench. Right. And he could make splash plays, and he didn't have to have all that pressure playing all game. Because then if you play all game, it's just like a bench player in basketball. Okay, Law? See, he's playing on the bench for a reason, because if he plays all game, you start seeing his warts. You start seeing his weaknesses, and then you'll start exposing him. So it's best to come off the bench, give him some limited minutes, because in them limited minutes, he will do really good for you. And that's what Jeff Heath was for us. And that's the position I like to see him go back in. No knocking on you, Jeff Heath. Nobody's hating on you. But this is a top-notch guigh, and you should even know yourself, Jeff Heath. If you saw this guy coming in the building, you'd be like, hey, I want to play, but I'm trying to win the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, I'm going to fold your clothes and wash your drawers for you. Because he's just that caliber of guy, you know, when you talk about Jamal. But here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. A lot of people get mad when we talk about bench players, you know. Nothing wrong with being the sixth man in basketball. Remember, sixth man in basketball, they are very beneficial to the team. So I'm looking at football. There's nothing wrong with being the 12th man, the extra guy that you can put out there in the pinch. And then on top of that can play special teams. Hey, let's roll with it. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and you got a guy who can play multiple positions. And like I said, the less he's playing, I think the better he will be. I think then that's when you will see the interceptions possibly come, because now the pressure is off of him, and I think that's better for him. There's a reason why there's guys that are starters, and there's a reason why there's guys that are bench players. And sometimes when you try to make a bench player starter, you start seeing things that you didn't see when he was a bench player. So that's why I feel like you have to do these type of things, especially when, like I said, we're going against New York Giants. And then you got like this guy, Daniel Jones. I was wanting to speak on him right quick, Law.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen Saquon Barkley. He's had a pretty good career against the Cowboys already. I believe he's had 200-yard games against us already. So that has to be the focal point. Obviously, we did do better against the run against the Eagles, but I'm going to say this, Law, I think it was more so that we jumped on the Eagles too quickly. We got those quick 14 points, and it maybe took out the Eagles out their game because if you really watch Howard, he was getting those runs up the middle. He did have a good rushing game when they went to him. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry.
Hush, big game, James.
Nobody want to know the
truth. Nobody want to know the truth, man.
I got to talk about it.
Don't tell the truth, man.
I got to talk about it now.
Go ahead.
Now, Jordan Howard was in that game, and yes, we shut down that run, but it was only because they had to come out of our game. That's why when you look at our 2016 season, our rush game, when we were the number one rush league defense in the league, it was deceiving. You know why? Because our offense kept defenses on the field all game, kept offenses off the field, and then when they did get on the field, they had to play catch-up, so they had to get out of the running game. So that's why you saw 86 yards a game in 2016. When teams can sit there and play it close to us and they can still continue to run, we have problems. I love Antoine Woods, but he's just not big enough to hold that point of attack if you're getting a double team. I like Christian Covington. He's a good player, but he's not that guy that's really going to stop us. We know Malik Collins, he can rush that quarterback. He stepped up a little bit in that Eagles game, but we haven't seen that consistently him in the run game. So that still worries me. So we have to really clamp down that run game, and we have to get Daniel Jones in the turnovers. This guy has 7 fumbles, 5 lost. Yes, 7 interceptions. That means 12 turnovers, okay, in 6 games. So that tells me he's a turnover machine. So what Cowboys need to do is get constant pressure on this guy, make him make mistakes, because he's already shown that he will give the ball up.
Yes, indeed. And just to go back what you were saying about that, and when people watch the game the multiple times, if they can go back and watch that game against the Eagles, you will see what Big Game James is talking about. This team, by us being so thin in the inside, we must score when we get the ball. We must force turnovers and takeaways because we are a finesse team. We that's just what we are. And we are a type of team. It's not a grinders type of an addition. And don't get mad at me, high boys, if you so happen to follow and watch this page and channel. But we are a finesse. A spade is a spade, right? Big Game James. So like you said, when you get the lead, you can pin your ears back, and you know for sure it's going to be a passing down situation. You can chase and get upfield and get to the quarterback. That's why if you guys go back and listen to my film evaluation of Michael Bennett, I said I can't get a true evaluation of him when he playing with the Patriots because they play with a lead. You know that it's not going to be a running down situation. You know that all you got to do is rush upfield, shoot the gaps. You know for sure that they're going to pass the ball because the Patriots play with a lead, you see. And that's our issue right now. Now, turnovers and takeaways, they are contagious. we had a week off, and I wish we didn't have that week off, but I'm glad that we did have a week off. It's like a conundrum, so that we can continue to expound and exude and exhibit those type of temperaments of taking the ball away from the opposition and these sorts of things. So, like you said, against those Giants where we're going to play on Monday night, maybe the light may be too bright for Daniel Jones. And if he's a turnover machine, let's double and let's up the ante and let's get more turnovers and takeaways, you see. And,
yeah, because we don't want to see that game that he had just recently. He had a very good game. I think he was 28 or 41, 300-something yards and 4 touchdowns, I believe.
He can throw now. He can throw.
He can throw the ball. I was a little suspect of him. I can't lie. I actually had Anthony Wright on my show, former Cowboys quarterback, and he said he liked Daniel Jones. We had behind-the-scenes conversations where he was breaking down Daniel Jones to me and telling me about him. Made me look at Daniel Jones a lot more.
Kind of remind you of somebody else who played for the Cowboys, who wore number 9. And I'm just saying it, you know.
I mean, he's got a good arm. He's athletic enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He can make all the throws, it looks like, and he's got good size. So I think down the line, when you look at the NFC East as a whole, as far as quarterback goes, it's going to be competitive. I think Haskins can grow with the Redskins. Daniel Jones, obviously, I think is good. Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. I got nothing to really say about Carson Wentz. And Dak Prescott, we know what he's bringing to the table right now, too. So you look at the NFC East, it's going to be a nice little young flow of quarterbacks that are going on. But we really have to pounce on Daniel Jones. Can't give him any kind of confidence. I think that's the biggest thing. We need to really get after him early. Just like how we got after Wentz, can't get this young rookie any kind of confidence. You know they're going to be going crazy in New York. The Cowboys are coming. They're looking for the upset. They're on a 4-game losing streak, okay? So those things are in their favor because they're going to play loose because they got nothing to lose. They feel like this is a rebuilding season anyway. So they would like nothing better for us to come in Monday night and play the spoiler. So just like you said, Law, Dallas Cowboys have to come prepared. There's been losses for Jason Garrett after the bye. He has to correct this because
if he come out flat, though, I'm just going to be like,
we cannot come out flat.
Cannot.
And I don't want to hear, Law. I don't want to hear, well, it wasn't him. It wasn't Jason Garrett that had the penalty, and it wasn't Jason Garrett that threw the interception. I don't want to hear that no more. I'm tired of always the accountability always be on the players, and nobody ever says nothing to what's going on up top. Okay, those things have to change. And if you're trying to be a championship team, I mean, this ain't something that people can get mad at. If you're trying to be a championship team, you can't make rookie-type mistakes after year 9 and 10.
True that, man. You can't make those mistakes, man. You can't be making Freddie Kitchens mistakes, whatever he's doing out there in the Browns.
You feel me? Like, this should be a guy, you get what I'm saying? This is one of the longer tenure coaches that are in the league right now, okay?
True.
So you got to be able to prove and show that, like, you've 9 years with one team. People got to be able to like, okay, they some dogs over there because he's been there. You get what I'm saying? Like he's like, I look at like Harbaugh at Baltimore Ravens. Okay, I like Harbaugh. I like what he brings because every year they like there, and he's been to the Super Bowl and they won. But they are there. You know when you play a Harbaugh team, you gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? You getting a tough grind out game, and we need an identity with Jason Garrett. You get what I'm saying? Yes. I think we just need a solid identity with Garrett, and Garrett, let's roll with it. Maybe I'm just going crazy, Law. I just don't want the excuses anymore, dog. We're right here.
Yeah, every
fans.
Team.
I'm salivating at the mouth because we're right here. We're right here. We've been building up all these years with this talent. How long we waited, Law? We've been building this talent on the offensive line, on the defensive line, in the backfield. We got a quarterback after Romo. We got a running back. We got a receiver. We got offensive line. We got defensive players. What more do we need? We need a Super Bowl now.
We need a Super Bowl. And then on top of that, for anybody that says, I do know that it goes back to this, oh, man, Dak Prescott, he sucks. He blows. He can't do this. He can't hit water if he fell off a boat. I want people to pull up quarterback percentage rates. You want to pull up quarterback accuracy. You want to pull up quarterback wins. And you
pull up my video.
Yeah, pull up his video.
Dink and dunk Dak.
Pull
it up.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
How about that?
There's all them little tiny throws that he's supposedly throw. No, he's averaging almost 9 yards of completion and almost averaging 9 yards an attempt. And it's week 7. You thought that would go down a little bit, and it hasn't. He has some little ebb and flows in the game, but he's been consistent. I think the thing we need to kind of talk about right quick, Law, is Stephen Jones talking about Dak Prescott. We possibly might need a hometown discount for you because we want to keep this nucleus and this team together. If they get a Jamal Adams and you're still trying to sign a Amari Cooper, What are your thoughts about Dak Prescott taking a hometown discount? Because I see both sides.
Look, it's a conundrum, like we always been saying with this thing. And then on top of that, when you say that big game, James, we had $9 million just sitting on the shelf right now.
Be quiet.
You got money. We didn't see. Did you see that Lyle Collins signing?
Yeah.
Coming? Did you saw that coming? Did you see the Jalen Smith signing coming?
Nope.
So you doing all of these things before you sign the key centerpiece of your team, the quarterback, the nucleus. I do know that people are going to say, well, Dak Prescott need all of these things in order to win. Name me 5 quarterbacks that don't need them. You see, I'm waiting.
Name some quarterbacks.
Name me some quarterbacks.
You're going to don't name Tom Brady, okay? Because he got Bill Belichick.
And Bill Belichick did it with Castle. So that throws Tom Brady out.
Just throw him out. Name a quarterback who don't need some weapons.
Name me one. And how many Super Bowls that they going to get without those weapons? You see,
and let's also understand that those great ones that we're even talking about, besides Tom Brady, have all let's see, Drew Brees has 1 Super Bowl victory. How long has he been in the league?
Oh man, forever and a day. And then on top of
Aaron Rodgers has been in the league. How long?
Oh yeah,
he has 1.
And you know what people? And this is
he has 1.
He has 1 ring, and this is what I hate when people just.
Phillip Rivers has 0.
0. Sayonara. This is what I like to bring up for everybody who don't watch tape and don't watch film and don't understand football. They always talk bad about my guy Tony Romo, and they talk bad about Dak Prescott too. When you just get that. But didn't you know that when Drew Brees lost his toy, he went 7-9,
3 straight seasons,
7-9. But we don't get.
Nobody talked about it.
He don't get that 8-8, 8-8 type of talk from the major leaguers.
3. He got his little
3
pass.
Years, 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. But he is the greatest quarterback that can walk on this earth, right?
Well, right. Why wasn't nobody saying nothing about him? Oh, he ain't got no weapons. He just needs some. And what did the Saints go out and do? They were trading to get players. They were trading to get playmakers. They drafted a Michael Thomas. Why? Why did they drive Michael Thomas, Law? I need some help. I'm great, but I still need some help. So let's lay off some Dak Prescott. Oh, he needs weapons. They all do. They draft players to get weapons. When Andrew Luck was there.
One thing I can say this big game, James. If Dak Prescott went 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, I guarantee you he wouldn't still be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I got a quick comment right here. Richard and to my brother, man, y'all need to get off Dak. He's average. Okay, well, say what you want. You say he's average. I say he's good. I say he's better than average. I say he's going to be good. And if you're looking at top quarterbacks right now, I think he's playing with the best of them. So every year he's gotten better.
Yeah, true that.
I don't know how else to say anything else about him when I'm looking at year to year. What do we want this year from Dak? Throw the ball better. Be more accurate. Is he still inaccurate? I just want to say this one thing. Go ahead.
Break it down.
I'm going to say this one thing about when we all watch Dak Prescott, we know that he's not that Aaron Rodgers guy. You can tell, okay?
Right,
he's not him.
Right.
He's not him. But he's a daggone good player. He can throw the ball. And if you look at his numbers, he's gotten better. He had the second year, and it wasn't even terrible. Look at Baker Mayfield's second year right now.
Right.
Huh? Look at Baker Mayfield's second year right now. His second year wasn't terrible. Then he has a better year last year. Now he's having a career year.
Right.
We've been wanting him to throw that can't throw for no 4,500 yards. He's on pace for that.
Yeah.
That can't throw for he's only averaging 6 yards. He's averaging almost 9.
Yes, indeed.
70 yards completion percentage with almost 9 yards an attempt. That's pretty good. That's not easy.
Well, and let me just speak to Richard and Tamala Burton. Yeah, I really appreciate both of you all for tuning in. Just wonderful for having you guys on the show today.
Yes, definitely.
But if that's your definition of average, I'm gonna do a quick homework assignment. Who would you rather have on the Dallas Cowboys right now at this point? And don't go out there and say, well, I'd rather have this guy, that guy. We can only look at the fact that when we had our first round draft pick in 2016, in order to get one of those unaverage quarterbacks, I guess, you would have to go out there and get a Goff. You had to go out there and get a Carson Wentz, right? For everybody saying that they are above Dak Prescott, meaning that would you rather have Goff? And I guess
I'm good.
Would you rather have Goff Or would you rather have Ezekiel Elliott? Would you rather have Ezekiel Elliott or would you rather have Carson Wentz? Because at the end of the day, that was our only chance of getting a quarterback in the first round, draft pick, right?
They did it smartly.
They did it smartly. They went and picked Ezekiel Elliott. They looked at this guy, number 4, Dak Prescott,
as developmental.
And as a developmental guy. He was not even supposed to play till this year. So at the end of the day, from 2016 to now, there's only one quarterback that got more wins than Dak Prescott. And that's Tommy Brady, right?
Right. And wins count. I don't want to hear people saying, oh, well, wins do count. Wins do count. And he's been there. And it's not like, yes, he hasn't won every single game. He's had help with Ezekiel Elliott. He's had an Amari. We understand this. He's had defensive help. True. But we've seen this with top teams. We've seen teams, if the quarterback's not playing good, the defense steps up. If the quarterback may play in a bad game, the running game steps up. That's what you talk about having a team, folks. I'd rather have a team. Okay, I want to have a team. So that's why I want to see what's going to happen with this contract situation. I'm just kind of I'm kind of uneven about it because, as you said, Law, they paid Jalen Smith. You paid La'el Collins. Why didn't you pay Amari Cooper? Why didn't you pay Dak Prescott? I mean, Amari Cooper, we cannot lose this dude.
well, according to Richard and Tamala, I guess you have to put in the fact that Amari Cooper is average then. You know, if you have to say that, then if Dak Prescott,
because he's been having phenomenal numbers since he's got here,
and did he ever had it without Dak Prescott?
No, he had numbers.
That's why I can punch people with facts. You see, and so where was Amari Cooper's numbers are without Dak Prescott?
Exactly. So, he's throwing him the ball.
So if
and he's
there you go. Talk to him.
So if he's average and Amari Cooper is having phenomenal numbers, everybody's talking about how good Amari Cooper is, how great of a trade that was. Well, it has to be Dak Prescott playing good, because if a quarterback can't give him the ball, Amari Cooper doesn't have these numbers.
Yes, indeed. And people fail to realize when you put the silver and blue on and you got the Cowboys Nation, you got a segment of the fickle fans that's out there, and then, trust me, they're there. And then you got the segment of the major media. I've seen people I see Richard and Tamala putting down Teddy Bridgewater. Man, you wish if Teddy Bridgewater was on this team. Yes, he's a good quarterback for what he's doing out there for the Saints. But he would get. I'm telling you. He would get roughshod and he would be ran over by the media, and the expectation would be out of the roof.
They would kill Teddy Bridgewater.
They would kill. The media would eat him up and spit him out.
They would destroy Teddy Bridgewater here.
You see, people fail to realize it's much more to do when you put that silver and blue on. It's a different type of world, because we got people that's not even glad to have these type of stats for Dak right now. Can you only imagine if we had somebody else and they look at the wins? They look at the wins, big game, James. But they don't even look at the stats. They're saying Teddy Bridgewater was better. Teddy Bridgewater wasn't better than Dak Prescott against the Saints when he played against the Saints.
No, he was not.
He wasn't better.
Dak Prescott had a good game. It wasn't Dak Prescott that lost that game for us. It was our defense and our turnovers and bad penalties that killed us once again. It wasn't a Dak Prescott playing bad, and Teddy Bridgewater sure didn't kill us.
Right. Teddy Bridgewater wasn't outstanding on those. Yes, they won 5 games. People want to look at the games, but they ain't watching the tape. Watch the tape and let me know how the Saints won that game. Watch the tape. I do know that people want to look at certain sides of the film, but when you start watching the Saints tape, you're going to sit there and say to yourself, man, Teddy Bridgewater didn't have nothing to do with those wins. But I digress.
I digress.
What else you got on your mental big game, James?
Oh, just really getting ready for these Giants, getting ready for the second half of the season. My thoughts is, it's full speed ahead. The Cowboys really have to buckle down, we can't have just any kind of bad losses. I think that's the biggest thing with me. The Cowboys really can't have the bad losses like the Jets. I mean, we really have to come in this last second half of the season really with the mindset of it's Super Bowl or bust. I mean, it's not a playoff or bust. It's not a championship or bust. It's Super Bowl or bust. Got to have the mentality when you're playing every team. Every team we play, we talked about a lot. They're going to give us their best game. They want nothing better than to knock us off, whether we're 4-12 or 12-4. They don't care. It's the Cowboys. They want to beat us. So we have to come in there mentally prepared. We're going to have some uneven games. Like I said, that Detroit game, that's going to be a funny game. Remember last year? Detroit played us. We had to win on a field goal, a long one. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we blew out Detroit. Detroit always gives us problems. And even though Trubisky is not all that good, guess what? It's in Chicago. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be cold out there. You feel what I'm saying? So these are the type of things that Garrett has to have the staff, the players, everybody full steam ahead and really get. I'm really excited to see Michael Bennett get acclimated, and I want to see what happens with this Adam Staines. If nothing does happen, then the Cowboys still have to have that mindset as Super Bowl or bust, and we can still do this. Even if they didn't make that trade, I still believe the Cowboys can do this, but they really have to be focused.
Yes, indeed. And, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And until they pull out factual evidence with stats and actual film breakdown, I'm not listening to them. You know, a lot of people saying that, well, Amari Cooper making Dak Prescott good, right? Well, why did he make the Carr brother good, look good? So I'm still winning. I'm still undefeated in that debate. So we can go back and forth with that. We also need to look at this right here. This game against the Giants, I mean, we have to win this game. We have to start off fast. It's a must-win game.
This is a must-win game.
Yes, because right now the Eagles, they licking their chops. They sitting there like, yes, we got them right where we want them to be, because at the end of the day, you got to look at this. The Eagles already played their rough schedule. Yeah, they did.
Oh, go ahead, Blah. I was just going to say, I think we have to win our division, get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we have any bumps in the road, we're going to have to win our division, because look at the wins and losses of these teams. They're too close. This NFC is way, way, way too close. And you can't have any slips of the road right now. So winning this division is super prevalent, and this is a must-win game to me against the Giants. This is a have-to-win game. I don't care what anybody says. We cannot come out of here 4-4, losing the game in the division, especially to a team that has 4 straight losses and is reeling right now. We can't give them any kind of confidence, and we really got to shut down Saquon Barkley. We got to shut down their team, and we got to be ultra-aggressive like we were when we first played them. We were attacking them every left and right. I want to see the same type of Ezekiel Elliott that I saw in that Philly game, because I hadn't seen that Ezekiel Elliott. I know that Ezekiel Elliott existed, but I hadn't seen that Ezekiel Elliott since that Philly. He ran with purpose. He ran like Ezekiel Elliott. I need to see that in that Giants game, because as we've seen, when Ezekiel Elliott gets to running and trucking like that, offense changes. Amari Cooper's open. You see, it's just a great ebb and flow with the new triplets. I'll just say it, because when Amari Cooper is balling like that, opens the offense. When Ezekiel Elliott gets going, opens up that offense. Then we're multifaceted. You don't know what we're going to do. That's when that play action law comes more prevalent, and we can kill you when Ezekiel Elliott is getting you 5-6 yards on first or second down. Now we hit you with the play action. Amari Cooper, those guys are open. Let's get this dub.
Yes, indeed. So any bold predictions you want to give out there? Or
because I ain't giving no more score predictions. I'm done with that. I'm
done with it.
Dog, I'm done with score predictions, but I'm going to give a bold prediction.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to just jump out there real wild and crazy. Michael Bennett. He going to get him 2 sacks.
Oh, wow.
And he's just going to be, because I think he's going to significantly play this game, and I think he's going to be in a lot of rush downs, passing downs. I think they'll throw him in on a passing down. And I'm going to jump out there and say he gets 2 sacks. I'm going crazy. I know. You say, yo, you just drinking the Kool-Aid, Jay. I don't care. I'm the defensive guy. Michael Bennett comes out of nowhere on the rush end on 3rd downs and gets 2 big sacks in the game.
And it's all possible because he knows the opposition. He played against the Giants. So, this is a good deal for us. So you're getting 2 sacks. Let me go with this. Guys, y'all already know that I don't like defense. I love defense. Boy, it just, woo! Defense, baby! Defense! Ah! Woo!
I love it.
If you smell what the law is cooking, right? Hey, man, I'm telling you guys. I've been saying this. This brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool with us. Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis. This will be his game, Cowboy Nation, that they put him in again, and he takes it to the house. We get our pick 6, baby.
I can see that. I can see him breaking on the ball on a Golden Tate and bow, taking it to the house, baby. I like that one.
To the house. That's a bold prediction because he's going to do a pick 6. The other bold prediction is that number 31. Byram Jones, he picks off Jones, and then he takes it to the house. Byram Jones get his second pick six of his career. You see what I'm saying? Because he did it against the Washington Redskins. Foreskins. What's the name of that team? Washington team last year. So he's going to repeat this por favor, but he's going to do it this time against the Giants. But this is how it's going to occur. My guy, Robert Quinn, is going to be streaming off the edge, right? He's going to create some type of pressure. Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones is going to spin out of it real quickly. He's going to see your boy Michael Bennett, and then he's going to hurry up and throw the ball. It's tipped in the air, and it hits 31's way, and he takes it to the house.
That's our Super Bowl prediction because that boy ain't got no interceptions his whole career. He's a beast, though, so I ain't going to say nothing about Byron Jones because he shuts down that side of the field. We all love for him to get interceptions, but, man, when you can shut down that side of the field, there's nothing better than that. It just makes it easier for your defense to play ball. So, yes, I'm definitely down with those bold predictions that you're talking about. Let's see what anybody else is saying. What y'all got to say before we get off of here? Trade deadline is still going on. We haven't heard anything correct yet. We haven't heard anything. Nobody's jumped in here because I'm sure if we got Jamal Adams, they would already jumped in the feet and said it.
Oh, man,
but give me some of y'all's bold predictions for this game against the Giants on the offensive side, on the defensive side. Let's hear what the people have to say today. See what y'all got to say. While we
Richard and Tamala says Zeke gets 125 with.
I need more bold than that.
Two tubs.
Richard, to me, I need more bold than that because we seen Zeke get that. Tell me, Zeke gonna get 200. That's bold.
Well, hold on.
Zeke gonna get 200.
No. Let me add to that. Zeke gets 125 and 2 touchdowns, right? 2 tubs.
Yeah.
And then he get another 68 yards receiving. You see what I'm saying?
You know what bold is, low? No. What is bold is 125 rushing and 100 yards receiving.
Ooh. Hey, it's possible because I think that your boy did that almost, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That's bold.
Your boy who I guess what's my guy name? Running back for Rod Smith did that last year, right?
Yeah, he did.
Rod can do it. I know Ezekiel Elliott can do it, right?
He can. I'm gonna give some of these right here.
Italy
I got
Joe.
Dennis Spalding says Cooper goes off for 202 touchdowns. That's pretty bold, but Cooper did that. Tell me Cooper gets like 300, then that's Super Bowl. You feel me? AJ Jones shutout. That's bold. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Kyle and Matt. Whitney and Jordan both get TD, and tell me they both get 2 Ds, then I'm going to say bold. Cooper gets 3 TDs, and tell me Joe Chanchina, tell me 4. That's bold. There we go. Jacob Riddle says Amari Cooper gets 4 touchdowns. That's bold. Now, here's a bold one. Kerry Teagle says Dak throws 5 touchdowns and 500 yards. Wow, that's bold.
That's super bold.
I think that's the boldest one I'm going to go with.
Oh, my goodness.
Dak getting 5 touchdowns and 500 yards passing? Woo! That's a Ric Flair. Woo!
That's greedy.
That's super greedy. You being super greedy, KT. Boy, you being greedy.
KT. Greedy.
So we about to head up off here, man.
Get on out of here, man. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in. The Cowboys Experience. I'm talking about unbelievable, bold ticket pricing. I'm talking about for the low. You see, hit us up at the website, www.cowboysexperience.com, and that where you can get some unbelievable pricing and tickets, and let them know where they can find your content and stuff like that, Big Game James.
Hey, if you'd like to check us out, Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James. I always, as I said before, my Big Game James, I go heavy with my Facebook or my Twitter. You can check me out on Twitter at Yates James if you ever want to follow me on Twitter as well. And then, like I said, Silver and Blue Nation, we go hard. You can check us out on YouTube. We kind of bounce back and forth. So you can check us out on both those platforms. We'll always, do it solo with Producer G's doing his thing. But we always guest it up. Me and Law, Skywalker still going to get it in tonight. So I definitely love talking to the other guys in the industry that really bring it. Law Nation, make sure you follow what he does. He's one of the people I looked up to when I first started in this industry about a couple years ago. I was showing all his videos. We were showing Law Nation. We were Law Nationed out. And then we built a really good friendship with that. So just continue to support us because to see how it bridged and made us together. So we can't get better without you guys. So continue, please support our content, subscribe, donate, whatever you can do to the Cowboys experience and beyond, so we can continue to make this grow and be great.
Yes, indeed. And as a family, Cowboys, I just want to be able to say this. We all don't agree with each other, right? James, I don't agree with everything you said. You know, we have our back and forth, maybe off camera, you know, but here's the thing. Not everybody agrees that Auntie Shirley makes the best spaghetti. Now, Auntie Shirley, if you listening right now, you do make the best spaghetti, right? But Pam actually make the best spaghetti, right? But as family, we may have our disagreements. We may not look alike. We may not talk the same. But dog it, if you cut us, boy, that silver and blue is going to come out. We probably throw hands later, but this is what it's about. I mean, us talking from different platforms or different areas of the world. I'm from Mississippi. For those who don't know, Natchez, Mississippi, a small town. And we didn't have a professional team to root for, but Cowboys were the team that I always rooted for since the 80s, you see. And that's just how it goes, you know. We love each other. We disagree. We fight. We fuss. We cuss. But at the end of the day, we all glued to the TV screen, and we watching the silver and blue. And I used to be the guy. And I know you got to go, Big Game James, but I was the guy that if anybody talking about anything about the Dallas Cowboys, I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to look at it, and that's how much enthusiasm that I have for this team. And people, the family members that don't support the Cowboys, oh man, they trash and this sort of thing. But let me play in my trash, there. That's my team.
Feel me?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me do my thing.
I used to hate. Have you ever seen that my Cowboys get beat so bad that sometimes they would turn the channel to another station saying, well, we are now finna tune into another show. I'll be just like, no, I want to watch it to the end. You see what I'm saying? Me? I don't want to turn away. So that's why I'm glad we got Direct TV now. They don't have to worry about we're going to tune into another broadcasting show, you know, that channel that's more competitive. I want to watch the Cowboys win, lose, or draw.
Dog.
And just like my guy Way in Italy. Can you believe that, Big Game, James?
Yeah, man.
Man, Way in Italy watching our show.
We've had so many people from abroad calling from so many spots. Actually, I'm going to give a shout-out to the UK Cowboys fans because I'm going to actually do a show with them next Monday, so make sure you guys tune in. They've had Brian Broaddus on there, Taylor Stern. They just had Ken Hamlin, former safety that was with the Cowboys. They've had a lot of former players, and they told me they were going to give me a shout-out. They're having a game, the last game they're having at the Wembley Stadium. They said they're going to give me a shout-out over the intercom, pumping up the show. So I'm really this has brought me, because I've always loved the Cowboys. Like you said, Law, like ever since I was a kid. I mean, my father, who's passed away, I mean, if you ask anybody in my family, he was the biggest biggest Cowboy fan ever. Like seriously, like whenever we talked on the phone, we ain't even talk to each other. He called me about Cowboys. And as soon as I would come in and he put me up for the airport, Cowboys, 105 the fan, all day. Cowboys. Like that's what it was, and that's all I know. And I just remember as a kid, 6, 7 years old, watching. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, I knew them players at 7. Like when my son and them watch football and stuff now, and I'm like, y'all ain't dedicated. Because when I was 7, I knew all the players. I was crying when we lost Super Bowls. I was crying when we lost games. My mom would say, boy, you going to school tomorrow? I don't care if them Cowboys lost. You going to school tomorrow? She would go off on me because I wouldn't want to go to school because I just want to cry in bed because my Cowboys lost. That's how deep it is, and that's the way it's always going to be. So how about them Cowboys? Let's get this dub against this Giants. Let's get this daggone 6, and let's shut all these critics and haters up.
Let's shut them up, and that's why we are with Cowboys Experience. It's the experience that means everything. That's been our time. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. Check this thing out. Share this information. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboys. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Man, good show, man. Good show. Yeah, we almost
good show.
Still live, man. But let this outro play on out, man. But I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, all day, dog.
Y'all feel it, though. Yeah. Well, go and bust that freestyle, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this one on the YouTube page.